How's it going? Phobic Shaky back with a brand new video. And first things first, I just want to apologize for the long hiatus. As you all know, I've been struggling with hardware issues, work schedule, finding a consistent editor, and it seems like the editor problem has been solved. So going forward, hopefully expect some more videos consistently. I do have a lot of longer videos on the back burner that I want to get out in the near future as well. But that aside, today we will be talking about 3 things that we absolutely need in the Boruto time skip. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like, and let's get right into it. First up on this list, where the hell is Kashin Koji? Kashin Koji is a very interesting character who we have not seen since his defeat to Ishiki in chapter 48 when he reverse summoned out at the Kara hideout just before Ishiki could land the finishing blow on him. There are some people who think he just succumbed to his injuries, but I personally find that to be boring and a pretty unfounded / unprovable theory. And not that my theory is any more provable, but it's a lot more fun. And that is, I believe he probably reverse summoned to Mount Miyaboku, where he underwent training with the Sage Toads, further enhancing his Sage mode and his connection with nature energy in general. I believe he stayed at Mount Miyaboku until shortly after Ada's omnipotence flipped the script. From here, it can go one of 2 ways. The Great Toad Sage is unaffected by the omnipotence but recognizes that something has happened and sends Koji to help Boruto and Sasuke. Or, they're all affected by it and Koji eventually heads to Konoha to either confront or reunite with Amato. Probably confront though, leading to Kawaki either intervening and telling Koji himself, or Amato being somehow aware of the script flipped and telling him. And I say somehow because I personally don't believe that Amato will be able to resist the omnipotence, at least at first, just because he's already affected by Ada's charm as is. But from there, I think Kawaki will try to fight him, causing Koji to end up going to find Boruto and Sasuke. Both scenarios lead to the same outcome, just in drastically different manners. Whatever happens though, Kashin Koji's whereabouts are something we absolutely need to know in part 2. Next up, I think Himawari's potential needs to be fully unleashed. Himawari is a character who has shown clear potential to be an absolute monster of a combatant from very early on. At the age of 3, she not only awakened her Byakugan in a fit of rage, she then proceeded to knock out Naruto on the day of his Hokage inauguration ceremony, with 0 prior training. This even impresses Hiyashi Hyuga in the Boruto anime. More recently, in chapter 77, Boruto is out looking for Kawaki while simultaneously monitoring Damon. Damon mentions how everyone he has met up to this point in the Leaf Village is pretty weak and questions if they have any strong fighters. Something, or someone, then catches Damon's attention, causing him to immediately run outside to confront them. This someone happens to be Himawari, who was on her way home from shopping. Damon then tries to strike Himawari before being held back by Boruto. Damon questions why she didn't try to dodge the attack, as it should be, quote, easy for the likes of you. Boruto tells him that she's not even a shinobi, to which Damon concedes that she does seem weak now that he's up close, but immediately contradicts himself by saying, but then, what was that intensity I felt from her just now, with a very concerned expression on his face. Damon, as of now at least, a few weeks before chapter 81 releases, is sitting very comfortably as one of the top tier powerhouses of the entire verse. For him to react in such a way to Himawari, especially with the context of him complaining about how weak everyone else he has met up to that point is right beforehand, makes me believe even more that Himawari's potential is quite literally unmatched. Once part 2 is here, I'm interested to see if she was affected by Ada's omnipotence or not. I personally think she won't be due to her bloodline, also due to being Boruto's sister with a very strong bond with Boruto, and when you add that with Sarada being unaffected, most likely due to her strong bond with Boruto. Even though there are major differences between Himawari's bond with Boruto and Sarada's bond with Boruto, my main point is a strong bond is there nonetheless. I feel pretty safe saying Himawari might not be affected by it. And now that I think about it, it would actually be amazing if they were the only two Konoha shinobi to know the truth and became a duo in part 2 upon realizing that they are both unaffected. I'm also interested to see how Himawari is going to react to the supposed death of Naruto and Hinata. I feel like losing her parents combined with losing Boruto in the sense that he's wrongly accused for killing his parents and labeled a terrorist is going to serve as massive motivation for her to become a beast. Last, but certainly not least on this list, Kakashi needs to play a major role going forward. With Naruto out of the picture, there is a need for a new Hokage. If the village handles it in the same way it was handled when Minato died, then Kakashi, the previous Hokage, will, as long as he's down to do so, come out of retirement to retake the title. Aside from the obvious reasoning in that it would parallel Naruto to Minato in a way, we also have interviews from Ikemoto where he makes it very clear that there are plans for Kakashi, yet up to this point, he's yet to appear in the entirety of the Boruto manga. Well, now, the table has officially been set for him to return. Also, during the flash forward scene in chapter 1, there aren't any new faces up after Naruto on the Hokage stone-faced monument, despite there being a 3-year gap between the events in chapter 80 and part 2. Not counting however long after part 2 begins it takes to get to the point of the flash forward scene. It very well could be a whole 4 to 5 years removed from Naruto's disappearance before we get to that point, leaving plenty of time to build a face statue. Especially when you consider Tsunade's was constructed during the time skip between part 1 and Shippuden. And with Boruto's era being far more technologically advanced, there would definitely be one up if a true new Hokage was crowned. Because of all these reasons, I feel very, very, very safe in saying Kakashi will be the Hokage, at least during the start of part 2, which I am all for, especially if it leads to him having some crazy feats against some of the higher tiers of the verse. We'll finally have what we need to put to rest the notion that he's one of the weakest Kage. So that pretty much wraps up my list. We have Kashin Koji's whereabouts, Himawari's potential being unleashed, and Kakashi re-stepping up as Hokage. I think all three of these are very important. You can argue that there could be things more important than these three things, but my personal list, these are the three things that I need most going into Boruto Part 2. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you want more content like this, comment if you agree, or if you have another opinion, feel free to leave it. Anyways, I will see you all next time. Peace.